Hello to all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome back to the acid trip that is our show. What? Listen, we were having a key before we went live, so it was a great conversation. And now we're going to talk about All Elite Wrestling, AEW television. Of course, I have 2 out of the 3 other co-hosts that are joining me, so we are unfortunately missing Benny the Bear and all his bear puns that we usually get from him now, apparently.
We can't have all 4 of us in the same room. The podcast wouldn't work.
It wouldn't
It's
work.
gonna happen, darn it.
It wouldn't work. The gravitational pull would be too strong. It'd ruin the background. Nothing would make sense anymore.
We're different shades of gray, and we can't all be together.
Is one of us Christian? Anyways,
moving on. I'm a mermaid, but thank you.
But welcome back to the All Elite Ensemble review, your weekly AEW post-show breakdown here at BC WrestlePod, where we cover the Dynamite and the Collision and and everything in between. And boy, howdy, do we have a lot to talk about this week because we had some people get signed and then leaving. There's a lot that went down this week on TV in terms of like television-wise and contract. We're going to talk about all that as we get through it. But of course, joining me this evening, first and foremost, you know him, you love him. He is all black everything tonight. It's Ricochet Beef JBL. We're getting that cookbook in the works, you guys, I promise.
It'd be so good.
And then, of course, rounding out our trio tonight is the Professor, who is here. And don't let the looks fool you because he is invited to the kingdom.
Yeah, don't let this white face fool you, or the red beard, or various things.
If any, so I'm gonna put the.
He puts the cologne in colonizer.
I'm gonna put the Professor on blast a little bit, but it was just like, don't let the red beard and the bald head and the pasty white skin fool you, because this is your Chicano studies professor this quarter.
You just found out today first day of classes. You're teaching Chicano film class. Oh, I am.
We're gonna get that 23andMe done this week.
I've been meaning to because I'm pretty sure it's more than you would know by seeing my mayonnaise on cracker face.
So that's gonna be a lot of
barbecue.
Stay tuned for all
and colonizer. Oh, it's so good.
Damn, I feel threatened.
Smells like barbecue sauce and asphalt.
Anyways,
we're all smoking that ass. Anyways,
no comment. Anyways, I am Mikey, Hefe of BC WrestlePod. I read the 1s and 2s, and I question every week, why am I here? But then I remember why I'm here, because I get to hang out with my friends, whom I love so dearly, and have carried me through the last 3.5 years of absolute chicanery, tomfoolery, and now that we're far enough in, some bullshit as well.
Speaking of bullshit,
we're going to talk about said bullshit that may or may not have occurred this week. I love Dynamite and Collision, but this week I was left with a lot of questions, but we're going to get into those. But of course, if you are new or to BC WrestlePod, or you've been rocking with us for the last 3.5 years, it's crazy that we have been on air this long and we haven't gotten canceled yet.
Despite Minnie's best efforts.
Hey, you know what? Minnie and et al. is what we're going to pronounce it as, because I was just like, depending on who we get and everybody's in here, we have yet had to have our HR rep come and talk to us about being problematic, but there have been a lot of innuendo.
There's a lot on their plate, so she can't deal with HR at all times.
Mama look at HR. She's got
Yeah, that's a lot of paperwork. But also, Professor, we can talk later, because the sadness that was Sunday and Monday was just like, oof. Anywho.
Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah.
Follow us on the social medias at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. CoffeeBot, if you want to help us pay for the AEW pay-per-views, because, you know.
Oh, no. This week we're having that big sale for everyone because we need to help Mikey pay for shock absorbers for his house.
I mean, listen, if where I live, if it's not on fire, because where we live is right next to the San Andreas fault line, like earthquakes, and everybody else is like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I'm like, I'm used to this. So, like, I don't know what you mean.
I mean, anything over 4, we don't even wake up. It's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Once it's 5, it's like, oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah. After
We're just chilling.
Yeah. Once you're getting 5'9" territory, it's different.
It's when the toilet water actually moves.
No, you are not wrong. All right.
Go get him. Go, Mikey, go.
Go, Mikey, go. Let's get into this. So we're going to start with Dynamite. So we are covering both Maximum Carnage versions of Dynamite and Collision. So we're going to
I gotta stop us here. I'm sorry about this. Was anyone else extremely disappointed we did not have a symbiote or anything involved with this entire time when it was sitting right there? It's Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, that's actually
a
good point.
It took you a minute to get that.
I was like, why would we? Those are awesome. Oh, we should have had that. You're absolutely right.
No one even did it for the gear. Nothing. There was no Spider-Man stuff.
Well, that might be a conflict of interest with DC. Not gonna lie.
Bandito did walk out like an anime character, but that's not.
Listen.
He went full Evangelion.
On the one hand, I was here for it. I was just like, Aztec Batman, let's go. Also, on the other flip side of it, y'all need to skip that movie.
Yo soy el noche.
God, it was so bad. It was like, once again, this is what happens when you let white people make a movie about, Aztec and Mayan mythology. Colonizer. Anyway, let's move on.
America is a fine film.
Yes,
It's a better band.
Yes.
Not wrong. Anyway, go on.
What in the living hell was this?
Shout out to Pro Wrestling and MMA News for always giving us the best screenshots.
Samoa Joe looks like he's gonna go do a shift down at the mechanic's house. Like, what the hell's going on? He's about to go pull somebody's oil filter.
We're stuck with this feud for the next 2 months at least. So of course Joe is, wanting to deal with the remnants of Swerve and Hangman. So he put a bounty on Hangman. And so the bounty hunter, Brian Keith, is going to be dealing with it.
I guess. Sure. Fine.
More on this later.
The big knock on AEW is that there's no long-term storytelling, and this is why. Because it's like, let's do this. Okay. All right. Fine.
I can't wait to get into Collision because whether he knew it or not, Hangman Page outed himself.
Yeah, madness.
I loved it.
This promo was unhinged. It was just completely like, all right, somebody told me this thing happened a couple of years ago, and I've got to try to remember it while I'm talking to you and having emotions about it. It's not really working, and my hat isn't fitting really well.
Yeah, it does kind of look like it's somebody else's hat. It's Tony Khan's hat. I mean, we'll talk about the match when we get there. I don't think his pants fit. I don't know if the setup.
It never does. Like, it's like pulled up. I was like, sir, is like what?
Struggling over there.
I was like, you need to take notes from Dalton Castle on how to make those work if you're gonna go higher than the belly button.
Yeah, have gay men make your clothes. That's not that hard. They know what they're doing.
Listen, all they need is a pattern and some scissors, and they cut a pattern they cut stuff out on the floor or use a
sewing machine. They'll cup it just right. Just move on, man. You'll be fine.
And if they have a surgery, you're totally on top of the world. It's great.
Go, Mikey, go. Go, Mikey, go.
We keep going. God, this match.
Hey, look, I'm going to break my back and then fake an injury match.
Dude.
Darby, I mean, I always say this every time we see Darby. Darby died. But Darby needs to go to the chiropractor after this match because that stair spot was insane.
And that started the match.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do a...
Darby does not want to walk when he's 30. Like, it's very evident.
Whereas Tanahashi was with the knees, Darby's going to be with the back.
And I'm pretty sure it was Adolfo and JVL who were talking about the more face paint that's missing, the, more life is depleting out of Darby Allin in general. They were hitting each other super hard, ridiculous hard. I don't know. I'm sure they want to do a good job. I'm sure they're trying to sell the fact that this is a feud, I guess. But, everything Pac threw was like, I'm going to murder you. It's like, whoa, that was hella hard. Those John Woo drop kicks that Darby hit were really close and hit super flush.
And you're listening to Brian on commentary saying it too. Like, I'm not as resilient as Darby is. I've taken bad hits like that. And how is he doing a missile drop kick after being dropped on those steps? Yeah. And also, I don't know if you noticed, on the belly to belly, Darby stops Pac for a second and goes, no, we're good. Because Pac was about to do it a little too close and just get the leg steady. He's like, no, full back. And he tells him to do it. So Darby was in control the whole time.
Yeah, they're doing it safe. I mean, there's a few, I don't want to read into it. We have a lot of other stuff to talk about. Darby kept doing that wristy thing over and over and over again, which always seems to tell me either your hands hurt or you're losing feeling in your arms.
Yep.
Both probably true. He's just destroying himself. You can see the scars now from the Sting coffin drop from the glass. Dude's just destroyed. I had to explain to my wife who walked in during this first match. It was like, what's he doing? He's trying to kill himself. Why? And I had to explain, he got hit by a bus. He went through glass. He climbed Mount Everest. And now Pac's trying to murder him. What is this? This is welcome to Dynamite. This is what they do over here.
I wasn't looking
this is
at
the
screen
show.
And that voice came in. That was amazing.
What are they?
Coming to you soon, the BC WrestlePod audio drama.
We could do it, but
let's do it.
Great. I thought this was a great match. I'm okay with the ending. Fine. Sort of a strange feud that they tried to build up for what they did. Pac still looks like a murderer, which is impressive.
Really does.
I do think he should shave his head. Just let it go, man. The emo comb over is not working. But
for real.
Other than that, God, murder looks good on that.
He could just take the sides off and go full Gollum. It might be fun.
We love it. Darby wins. We move on in Maximum Carnage Dynamite.
I will say this was the right energy to open the show, though. That was the right energy to open
Absolutely.
the show.
Hi, Hangman.
He conditioned his hair today.
He really did. He was looking fabulous. We get the bounty hunter Brian Keith versus Hangman. Hangman wins.
Yeah. I did enjoy Swerve choking the life out of Big Bill after a while. That was so good.
Well, Bill's face was like, what's happening? Wait, what is this? Totally confused. I'm choking now. Murder.
Only Lacey is allowed to do this to me.
Bill Yeah, not
Lexi, you kinky girl.
Swerve's non-consensual choke. Well done.
He used both hands.
I still
For
can't get
real.
over the fact that Hangman and Swerve are friends. It's like, you burned down his childhood. Nobody cares.
They've come to an understanding that they realize both of them. One tried to smother a child, the other burned down the other one's home. So I mean, come on.
They have both done some crazy stuff.
I drank your blood. You drank my blood. Yeah, we're friends now.
Syringe through your face. We're good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
I curb stomped you on a
lest we forget.
God.
curb stomp to the cinder block.
For real.
But
So,
I like him. I like this match was fine. It did what it had to do. Whatever. I
Did it?
hope it had to fill 10 minutes. It did.
I guess if you're looking at the baseline of it, yes, it filled a spot in the show. I don't think it was necessary whatsoever. They
No.
could have just done the promos.
speaking of which,
Yes, and then this.
Hey, look,
is
it's
a
a
lot.
giant phallus.
so let's break this down, right? So after the match, Swerve gets on the mic. Mr. Kenneth Omega comes to the ring and gets on the mic. And I'm looking at this. I was like, this is the world title scene over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And then, Don Phallus and the family come out, and Kenny Omega, needs to earn wins. He wants to earn wins because he wants to do it the right way. And I'm just like, you are Kenny fucking Omega. I was just like, but I dig that. So Josh Alexander was ready to fight. Don Callis was like, no, we're not doing this week. So next week we are getting
Josh-
Kenny Omega versus Josh Alexander. And on paper, I'm excited.
Josh
Really
said,
excited.
yeah. Josh actually stepped up and yelled in the microphone that he was ready to go. Like, this wasn't just like him being the silent warrior. This was amazing that he actually spoke.
Listen, I need this. I need our MLP men's world champion. I mean, MLP doesn't, have the titles here in AEW because there's already too many.
Major League Penis?
That's my
I mean-
after-hours show.
Why does Dick Fight Island sound like it's a car dealership? It's somewhere in Minnesota.
Because it's nothing but
How you doing? Mike Walls for Dick Fight Island. Come on, off the corner of 99 and House.
Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega next week. This is a lot.
Yeah, Richie
This
Valens
was a
here for
lot.
Dick Fight Island.
No. We're gonna keep this show moving because we still
Go,
got a lot.
Mikey, go. Sorry.
Jonathan Cruz, you are one of my favorite peoples, and I knew at this moment that you fucked up. And I was really excited to see you get fucked up in a moment. Is trying to have an interview with Brody King. Jonathan Cruz over here steps up, and I'm just like, sir, first of all, how dare you talk to my baby daddy that way? Second of all, I think you learned the wrong lesson from MJF, because yes, MJF is cocky, but at least he has the skills to back it up. You getting in Brody King's face meant that, he's about to get his ass beat, and I'm here for it.
Are you saying Jonathan Cruz of the world-famous Nope spot with Samoa Joe doesn't have what it takes to get beaten up by a larger man?
I mean, he probably could. I don't judge.
Brody King is so smooth in his promos now that it's not like, hey, be this hard ass and talk. Like, he just sort of relaxes and is calm and contained. I've liked the shift that he's done. Like, he's not doing too much. It's I've noticed it.
It's not as intense as like the Hounds of Hell and all that stuff. Like, he's finally settling into a character. But he did have a stumble at the end of this one that made a little bit of no sense. Like, he forgot the last bit of the promo. But
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
kind of threw her a look and walked away. Yeah.
He stumbled a little bit, but that's okay. I love you, Brody King. You can do no wrong in my eyes. But we had the squash match in which Jonathan Cruz fought with no shoes on. God, sold Brody's finisher beautifully.
Yeah.
Brody cuts the promo.
Slow ball Jonathan Cruz.
Yes. Now, the way that Brody, I was waiting, I was worried. I was just like, I'm about to see some heartbreak tonight. More on that. And I was just like holding my breath the entire time because I'm like, oh man, Tony Khan, either we're still going to be on good terms or you're going to have to pay for my therapy bill. At this point of the show, I told myself we're going to have to wait and see. So let's keep this going because
Oh my God.
this match ruled.
Dude.
First of all, shout out to Gates of Agony. I was like, y'all have been busy boys, and I'm so happy that not only did you get to wrestle here for Dynamite and Collision too, because we're gonna talk about you in Collision. You and Ricochet, the whole entire demand was in Mexico this weekend, and y'all did great stuff. I loved it. But this is a 4-way tag team match, number one contendership to see who would face FTR for the tag titles in the near future. And of course, we got everybody in this match that I'm kind of excited for. So of course, first of all, we have the return of the Super Kick Party. All the streamers from the Young Bucks. So I was like, Super Kick Party, Young Bucks are back. We have the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona of the Demand, which we love. We have Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And then, of course, we have the aptly named, thanks to Benny, they are now known as D&D. Dunkzilla, the Don Callis family, which is Dunkzilla, Mark Davis, and Jake Doyle. So Davis and Doyle, D&D. Also, those two plus Brody King is my dream.
I ended up calling them Undone the Sweater Song because they were already dressed to come out with it.
Lord help us. So it's just like the wrestling gods have been good to me.
The fact that D have the cardio they have, being I don't know, fucking ogre, insane. Like they're going all. This was super fun. Like I had a blast watching this. The choreographed spots kind of took me by surprise. Like normally it's a spot fest. All this is coming. I don't know if it was the camera or what, but they actually kind of hit them pretty well. This was nuts.
Well built. The thing I'll say for this as well, as much as I know the Bucks want to be focused and like be able to do fun things in their matches, I'm loving this run now where they've really jumped into that supporting role. Like we're going to be here and do our spots, but we really have set everybody else up in the match for such a great. They're a great foundation to have in the match, which I'm so happy to have.
I think that's sort of the balance to the EVP thing. I think they knew they were taking up a lot of space for 2 years doing what they did, and I don't know, but who knows what was back behind the scenes. We'll probably never really know. But going like, hey, you tell you what, we'll go to the mid card and we'll hold people up and do what we do, and we're just as happy. And I like that.
I do too. This was a really fun match against really fun stuff. Speedball Mike Bailey defying all laws of gravity and physics and just being on Demon Time too. Who's fantastic. And then, of course, Jake Doyle with, holding on to Speedball Mike Bailey. They're swinging from the guillotine onto the mat, and then he picks them back up. I was just like, oh, it's a thing of beauty. Don Callis family. Yeah, go for it.
That guillotine counter into that rolling to get up from it, that's the best thing with a Hurricane Rana, I think. It's you're not going to sell it and flip back out of it. You're too big and everything else. Sure. You're basically just going to take the momentum down, swing them back up, and come right into it. Well choreographed through. I loved that.
Yeah.
So shout out to Speedball. Also making history too, which we're going to talk about at the end of Collision too, because somebody posted it. It was like, shout out to AEW for the representation, man. Seriously. We're going to talk about that. But D&D pick up the victory. They will be facing FTR. FTR comes out to face them, and a whole brawl breaks out. And I was like, baller. I don't know if we're going to build this up to Revolution, because I want to see that match at Revolution, but probably very, very soon in the next couple of weeks. I would not be surprised if we're building this, because it is only 2.5, 3 weeks away, because we are about to be heading to Australia in 3 weeks. And so we got, Grand Slam Australia coming up very, very soon.
And Jake Doyle is Australian.
I mean, he could be. But Mark Davis having a match in his home country would be fantastic.
Oh, right. The other one. Yeah.
Yes, he didn't get to do it last year because he was hurt. And then we had Buddy Murphy Matthews. I was just like, have a whole match, broken ankle, and still wrestle the whole entire time. It was crazy.
I know. I don't want to go on a tangent, but I still miss Aussie Open. I know.
I think they will reunite at some point.
That was right when you gotta watch this and look at Aussie Open, and I remember falling in love with them, and then they.
God, Kyle Fletcher is a gem. Getting to talk to him, the brief moments that we did, that we were at JBL was very fun.
Oh yeah.
Also,
it'd be cool to split up the Don Callis family and then have to have side and maybe get together.
Well, we're going to talk about that because it's happening. Wow. Speaking of wow.
This was electric.
So good.
Yeah, really good.
Also, shout out to all 6 of these women, because y'all were fantastic. This is everything led up. And I know some people were like, we had the women's blood. We're all still fighting, especially now because we added a new chapter to the story, because spoiler alert, Tekla pins Chris Statlander to get the victory for the Triangle of Madness, which means y'all know, and I called this. I'm excited. Chris versus Tekla is coming up at some point, so can't wait.
Will Tekla use a giant motorcycle wheel to knock out Chris Statlander? Is the only thing I'm asking now. After seeing
she needs to get Wheelson and use Wheelson as a weapon.
Needs to, yes. Clark Connors should just deed that to her.
Just get a black one, but it's has a pink bow on it, or a toxic spider bow
Professor,
on it.
For your information, Wrestle Kingdom and apparently before, Clark Connors has been pulling a motorcycle tire out from under the ring and bashing people over the head with it as a weapon. It
is a member of the Bullet Club War Dogs faction in New Japan, and his name is Wheelson.
Yep, the wheel has a name.
I thought Bullet Club's gone now. Isn't Bullet Club gone now?
No, we thought it was, but it's not. But but it is. It's complicated.
Yeah. Watch our Wrestle Kingdom, thing. You'll get the whole download.
All right, with their 100-member faction.
For it. We'll tell you that tea as well as the other tea. We're going to talk to each other after we're done.
So this match they got 12 minutes, and it felt way longer. Probably because they just did so much. Super impressive as always. We talk about this all the time. I'm glad that the women's matches and women's, what's the word, representation, I guess it's fair to say, here in AEW has gotten better and better. We saw that. I could have watched this for 10 more minutes. I'm sure they were gassed, but like I was like, it didn't feel long to me.
Harley Cameron had another 15 minutes in her. You could tell she was ready.
Oh, Chris Statlander probably been there like nothing.
Easily. The cardio is fun. And then you watch Harley in the interview afterwards, and it's just like, seriously, like all I want to see is that more and more.
No.
Yes. I love the Babes of Wrath. I love Chris. Triangle of Madness. We love them. Fantastic. Again, I mean, Tekla, Willow, Chris, and Hartley have been great, but like Julia and Sky have really come into their own since joining up with Tekla. And I mean, not to say that they haven't before, but I was like, guys, this works, and I loved it.
Nice to see AEW actually putting together factions that make sense and actually have some sort of like reason to be fighting each other.
Don't have like 20 members in the faction.
And I'm on the record here of kind of hating trio stuff for a long time, and AEW's brought me back to it. Like, oh, you can kind of make these coherent, solid things to me. So I really enjoyed this.
We love to see it. So yeah, Triangle of Madness wins. Tekla pins Chris, which pretty much all but guarantees Tekla a chance at the AEW Women's World Championship. And that also means to tell me we're probably going to see Sky and Julia go after Babes of Wrath too for the tag titles, which I'm like, we're slowly cooking. I don't know if it's going to lead us to Revolution, but it is going to lead us somewhere. Probably Grand Slam Australia. Would not be surprised if we see that tag match there.
I mean, they're already listed with a tag team name. They have to fight for the tag team titles.
So shout out to everybody around. This match ruled. Jet Speed is just having the best week ever. So they're talking about they're talking backstage about not being able to get that tag team championship #1 contender spot, though, but that's not going to stop them. So then Swerve comes out and gives them the pep talk, be like, keep your head up high. Y'all gonna do great things. And then Hangman comes in. Listen, this is the most awkward polycule that I have ever seen in my life. And I love all three of them together. Hangman comes in. First, he's talking to the camera, how he is going to challenge for the Trios Championship. And, you know, he puts his arms around Kevin Knight and Speedball. Kevin Knight, I love Kevin Knight because he picks up what Hangman is saying. It takes Speedball a little bit longer to get there, but I loved it. I want to believe that Speedball was legit asking not in character or according to the script, but like actual be like, wait a minute, you're asking us to be a batch, and then Hangman, the way Hangman responded to it, is like, yeah, I want you two to be my partners. We're gonna go for the trios match. See you Saturday, and then he leaves. I was just like, I love this awkward polycule of three.
That's so funny.
This was only missing one thing for me, Mikey, and I know this is good, like inside baseball for all of us. There needed to be a pan to the side and Evil Uno and John Silver just standing there going,
like, we were right here. John Silver is still mad that Hangman did not say no to his proposal all those years.
Yep.
Listen, Hangman is for the he, she, theys, and gays of the world. We love him.
Hey there, fellow wrestlers. Want to go get some titles?
It's for reals. I love it.
Skateboard, backward hap. Hello.
Lord help us. Listen, I love that Hangman like outs himself and is not ashamed of it. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm fabulous. He's so good.
Yeah, he's not bad for a math teacher.
Not really.
No. I was just like, hey. So we're going to keep going, though. I love Speedball. It's like, wait, you're asking us to be your partner? Yeah, I am. It was like, see you Saturday and leave. We love it.
We got to go down to Burbank for the competition.
There has been...
We're not even ready for that.
No, we are not. It has been a whirlwind of a week, but we get this little graphic that the Rascals are coming soon to AEW.
Or are they?
We're gonna wait until we get to Collision, because like I'm just sitting now. I love that people on the internet, you know, we gotta make engagement somehow. I had a couple people DM, you know, our accounts, be like, y'all are the TNA crew. What did you think? I was just like, I'm happy for them. They're like, really? I was just like, well, yeah, obviously TNA didn't want to sign them, so let them go somewhere else.
Sure.
We even been saying. Now, Papa also might have been a little upset because he loves all 4 members of the Rascals because they are great wrestlers, but also he loves him some Trey Miguel.
He's from Texas? Like, I don't know what you're doing with this.
Anyways.
Is that a Texas thing?
But he even agrees, it's like if TNA wasn't going to use them properly, if they weren't going to use them properly, they're going to. And again, at this point, before everything that we're going to talk about in Collision, this is the only time that all 4 Rascals have been signed to a company, because companies have either wanted 2 or 3 of them, but all 4 of them got. We're going to talk about it when we get to Collision, because we're going to wait for that one. Main event time, and I was like, holy shit, this show flew by really quickly. MJF versus Bandito. for the AEW World Championship. Bandito coming out as Aztec Batman was just like great costume, horrible movie. And
Aztec Batman?
Yep.
Oh, it's not.
yeah,
What?
Yeah.
yes.
It's a ripoff
Look it
of
up.
Puma Man.
Humans are the worst.
Also, not shout up, but a little bit against HBO Max here. Went back to watch the replay today, and all of a sudden it's like, why are the end credits and the thing saying "Watch Last of Us" is up as they're starting this match? Like, I couldn't fast forward through it. I couldn't get through the commercials because the feed said I had run out of time. Did your streaming thing just not work? And yet it played the whole match. I was like, the heck is wrong with you, HBO Max?
This looks like it should be cool. It's not?
So we're going on tangent real quick.
Sorry, I didn't know that was a thing. That's a thing.
No, we're gonna go on a tangent real quick because the premise is really cool and the art style, and of course, you know, brown power right here. Love to see my culture represented. Watch the whole entire movie. The main conflict is attributed to a savior complex, and they just throw the actual whole mythology of Aztec and Mayan culture in the garbage. It's like it becomes a white savior complex, and I'm like, no, ma'am.
That's unfortunate.
I was like, because it looks cool, and the outfit Bandito came in was cool. The movie's just not great.
Yeah,
And it
the
makes me
Joker,
mad.
quote unquote, looks amazing.
I was just like, once again,
That's unfortunate.
my culture is always like not given the proper dues, but it is what it is at this point. But back to this match. This is actually a pretty good match. I like this one. Now, here's my only critique, though. And this is nothing against Bandito himself, but I have two things. Number one, Bandito, I love you, and I have seen you do it. We got to come up with we got to use some other finishers. I love the 21 plex. My issue with the 21 plex is actually not Bandito doing the move itself. It's, again, because I watch CMLL, watching the AEW folks take the 21 plex versus the CMLL talent that takes the 21 plex down in Mexico. MJF is just waiting for the 21 plex to happen. And that is not just MJF. It's been a couple other people Bandito has faced in AEW. On the flip side, a CMLL, you have the talent by actually like struggling to get up and are not just waiting for Bandito to hit it. They're like, okay, I got to climb up, get my stable. Like they're acting along with it. And then Bandito hits the 21 plex for the win. So like, that's my only critique about it, right? But other than that, I like this match. I really did. This is pretty decent.
Well, and the commentary helped as well. I mean, Brian being there and saying like, "Oh yeah, Max has got to stay away from those ropes so the 21 plex doesn't get in his way there." And like, I'm sitting there going, "But isn't his heat seeker also over there? So he really has to use it. So now he's in danger."
I do agree with that. Like, you got to sell it a little better than just, I'm going to put my butt up in the air. I hope nothing happens. Like, you just can't sit
That's
there.
a weekend at my house.
But like, I put this on the short list for matches of the year to rewatch. I know it's January, but Bandito looked amazing in this. MJF really set him up as a base, doing some crazy shit. We got to see, I mean, we've always seen Bandito's amazing feat of strength, but some of the stuff he did to MJF looked even stronger. Doing that, going for the suplex, and then MJF just kicking his feet as hard as he can, and just Bandito holding him up anyway, like it was nothing, like as a child, holding him straight up, and MJF go, put me down, and he could have been there for 20 minutes, like what? And then switching one hand, and insane.
I love it when Bandito pulls those things out because we tend to forget sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, Bandito, not only can you throw yourself around the ring and fly all over the place, but you are also a power-built luchador too, where you are able to lift and throw guys all over the place too, like a strongman type of wrestler would anyways.
Because he looks like he's in, a weight division with MJF, who's of course big and strong, but we don't consider him a powerhouse Hobbs or whatever else. Bandito does stuff that he should not be able to do compared to others. Like, how are you doing that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The Lucha Libre programs in Mexico not only teach Lucha Libre, but they send these folks to like Japan and the UK and the US. They literally send these people around the world to learn the different, trades. And luchadors to me are the bards of professional wrestling, where they are the jack of all trades, master of none, except, in the case of one, right? Because people also tend to forget the end of that saying too.
I thought that was really, really great.
Oh, look at that. JBL didn't like it. So, dang, what happened?
I don't know. All of a sudden the internet went boom.
Tony Khan sent lightning to your house?
So MJF gives kudos to Bandito. But he's like, because I know you're going to be a world champion, we're going to have to try to prevent that. So Max begins to beat up Bandito. Baby Daddy Brody King for the save. Yeah. And they got me here. They got me, gal. Because I was just like, oh my goodness. They're hovering over this for too long. I started like sweaty. I was like, Tony Khan, I think you did that on purpose. How dare you?
I think they know to keep it, and I think they actually really like it, and it's over. He doesn't want to kill it right away. It's only been a few months, right? It hasn't been super, super long.
No, and to be quite honest too, it's real. Even when Brody goes heel, it's gonna make it very hard for me to boo this man because I'm like, listen, how are you going to boo a man who literally wears Abolish ICE t-shirts everywhere he goes? It's from like the scene too with him and his band. I was like, you can't do that. I'm not gonna boo Brody.
Tony has to know that. Like Tony has to be aware. He'll play the hot hand for a while. He knows.
Yeah. So that has been Maximum Carnage Dynamite. So now let's get into Maximum Carnage Collision because this was a pre-tape. I could definitely tell it was a pre-tape because it was just like we're gonna cut the fluff for most of it. There's a lot to get into, so let's just do it. Jellico, I love you, but I was just like, oh, you poor child.
Yeah, sweet summer child.
By the way, Andrade throwing shade with his new T-shirt is great.
What's his shirt?
It's for 1 week only on ProWrestlingTees.com for AEW, and it literally says "Real Latino Men." And then with the Mexican flag on the bottom. And I was like, oh, we love the petty in this household.
Why?
Because lest we forget, there are some quote unquote Latin superstars where he was previously at that aren't actually Latin, but are being pushed as Latin. And I'm like, cultural appropriation. Yeah, shame.
I mean, if you look at our makeup here, Sheamus.
I mean, I'm gonna be so for real. Sheamus is invited to the Quince, honestly. Like, Sheamus gets it, and we love him for it. And oh my gosh, I need him and Penta and Rey Fenix to be a team like that.
Oh wow,
this was fun, but we knew where this was going. Andrade beats Angelico for the win, just to get Andrade wins.
It showcased him, and the right opponent. Angelico is an amazing opponent for him to work against. I just feel like he seems like he's still trying to figure out how he's going to carry himself in this company because he's like his entrance is still a bit stiff, like even for him, and it still feels like he's not sure what his role is going to be yet, even though he's part of the Dom Fallis family.
The mask is important to him. It just doesn't have the reverence the way he's using it now. Does that make sense? The crowd is sort of, all right, I'm going to wait for him to take it off. It's off now, as opposed to a lot of other luchas or the culture in general, where it's like, I see the mask, it means something. I don't know how he could shift that or alter that. It's a prop, mask as prop versus the mask. It's a tough spot to be in.
Do we think he also forgets that he's not in the other company where everyone doesn't have object permanence like most toddlers or ADHD kids?
No. Yes, so.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
With the win over Angelico. Okay, let's just talk about it.
Wait, something's missing here.
Weren't there 4 of them?
Yeah.
Yes, there are 4 of them. So let's talk about everything that has transpired this week. So we do get this promo introducing the AEW audience to the Rascals. So, of course, starting from the very far left, we have Zachary Wentz. In the middle, we have formerly known as Wesley from NXT, but going by his independent name, Desmond Xavier. And then, of course, the one in the devil horn hat is Mr. Myron Reed, who is married to the incredible wrestler Killer Kelly. And they literally are a wrestling couple that wrestled together on the independents, and they have a child that they bring with them everywhere. It is fantastic. But yes, there are 4 of them. There are currently only 3 on the screen. And my first thought was, where is Trey Miguel? Well, fast forward to where we are now, and a lot of shit has gone down. So initially, we were told that the Rascals had signed, but there was no Trey Miguel. So, of course, the internet was like, where is Trey? What had happened? Well, initially, we learned that Trey Miguel was released from AEW, and I was sitting here, and I was like, what the hell happened, you guys? What transpired? Then people got conspiracy theories, Then Trey hosted, finally, after like 24 hours of like everybody speculating, he's like, guys, I'm taking a break from professional wrestling, to get myself right. I'll be back soon. Love y'all. Then there is speculation that, the release of Trey Miguel came from beyond the top. So Tony Khan wasn't the one who let him go. And then I learned today, thanks to Fightful.com, that decision was made by Warner Brothers, WBD themselves, because now I'm put a disclaimer here. I am just reporting the facts and reporting things that happened. Allegedly, that is what we are talking about. So nothing is concrete, but just in case, we're going to put this up here. I am trying not to get us in trouble. But allegedly, the reason that WBD released Trey Miguel is because back in 2020, there may have been some problematic tweets and some anti-Semitic rhetoric, which was not great. And so that is
I mean,
allegedly
I looked it up and I'm reading it now.
it's
But
not.
it's in line with what David Zaslav likes.
Which is crazy. Now, here's the thing. So a lot of people are there are people on the internet that are doing both sides. Some people feel that WBD is being a little harsh on Trey, especially because he's been putting in the work to do better, and he has apologized for it when it first initially happened. But apparently, Trey did not learn from his other stablemate Zachary Wentz, who both him and Wes Lee were in NXT, and they were tag team champions, and they were just champs for like 3 weeks before NXT dropped Zach because of problematic pictures coming back to haunt Zachary Wentz that showed him in a tiny little mustache, and you can guess the rest. And also there was also some accusations in terms of like some DV and SA, which turned out to be completely false, which, he was cleared and all of that. But prior to an investigation, NXT just dropped him, and then now here we are. So the rest, at least Zach and Trey, have kind of found themselves in controversy. The funny thing is that Myron is probably the cleanest of the four. I was like, hey, I bagged Killer Kelly and we have a kid together, so we're good. I was like, yeah, so that has been the Trey Miguel saga. I really would love to see WBD, like the Briscoes, take their time. I think Trey is an amazing talent, but, we're going to have to wait and see. But with these three, though, I am excited to see these three here. I'm not going to lie. I do like the Rascals. Not only do you have good tag team, but you have a good trios division too, which is fantastic as well.
See a 5-person tag with them and Jet Speed would be insane.
As one of our other co-hosts, Will, puts it, Radio Free Will, he puts it as turn gravity mode off and let's go. Jeez. But yeah, they're keeping what we know the Rascals for in TNA. Their locker room is always going to be very smoked out.
Hilarious. I love that she was all about it too, which is like, yeah, but I'm working.
Lexi is down for the cause. Lexi is great.
We've got to have like a cutback where Lexi's in there, and then you see like Large William in the corner just looking at like a globe of something.
Oh my gosh! I need
just staring at a lollipop.
I need Ryan Keith and Large William to unexpectedly be part of the Treehouse segments with them.
I feel like it's a perfect way to bring Private Party back too, but
Oh my God, is that Private Party? I miss.
I was gonna jump, but then I got high.
I really hope that AEW allows them to do the Treehouse segments because they are some of the most cringiest but amazing, funny stuff in wrestling.
The Treehouse clip members.
They are fantastic.
It's gotta be Mom's basement though.
Yes, find the basement of the stadium to do.
You see Dalton Castle sitting out there just like eating cheese out of a mop bucket.
No, honestly, every week you just get like MXM Collection pops out of the room one time,
slides in and slides out.
Orange Cassidy comes out.
They slide in, they slide out, and the three of them go, you saw them slide, right?
How come their feet don't touch the ground?
We just get Jonathan Cruz comes out. Like, I'm just thinking of like all the people you can. Like Nyla Rose comes out of it at one point.
FTR walks by, they go, hey, it's DTF.
Down to
fight.
Not with that Burt Reynolds mustache. Also, Cash, you know what you're doing. So the Rascals are here. Can't wait to see them in action because it seems that we're setting them up with their first opponent very later in the show too. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz never change. Eddie Kingston's another one too. Him and Ortiz just come out.
Oh yeah, well Eddie, I feel like Eddie could have 5 bowls.
Eddie is down for the cause too. I'll be like, we know Eddie. We know.
He feels no pain. Yeah, like this was strong style stuff. And like I said last week, I know nothing of Grizzled Young Veterans. It was fun to watch them. They almost had moments where they oversold things. They were in too much pain in certain moments, but it was still super fun to watch. I really, really enjoyed this. I don't know or remember Ortiz like I should. I know he's been out for 2 years, like they said. So for great show, really fun.
So to give you a little bit of a catch up too, because Ortiz was part of not the Pinnacle, right?
Yeah, well, he was with Santana for like a minute, but
well, because Ortiz was with Chris Jericho at one point, and then that was during that whole thing. But the most important thing, not just in AEW, but in TNA and just the independent scene for the longest time too, Ortiz and Mike Santana were tag team known forever as LAX. In TNA, they were part of LAX. And that's where we initially got introduced to the now named Zelina Vega, because she was also in TNA, part of that faction too, long time ago in the mid 2000s. And then Mike Santana and Ortiz kind of had a falling out, a little bit of a public falling out, but they have kind of made amends and they have gone their separate ways. Mike Santana being in TNA after, getting clean and sober. Ortiz also figuring some stuff out, and now he's back on my television screen with Eddie Kingston, which I love. But yeah, this match was stiff. GYV, Grizzled Young Veterans, are always fantastic to watch. I love Uncle Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. They are also fantastic. This was fun. I had a good time with this one. All right, kids, we keep this going, though, because Stokely is still raising money for his, damages that he received at World's End with the table spot and everything. Never changed, Stoke. Never changed.
I like it better than Roderick Strong in the neck brace. I think it's working.
Yeah, never had a custom ride.
So, I mean, FTR come out. They talk about their opponents in D&D, Davis. And so they run down their opponents. And I was just like, especially with Cash, be like, Jake something or whatever your name is. So I was like, I see what you did there, Cash. Not the greatest thing, but you know what? I'll take it. So this was just a promo from FTR. We have heard it before, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, they're definitely DTF.
Down to fight. And
we are fart her.
Moving on. Leo Rush is back from his UK trip, and I am glad that you're back in AEW. He had some banging matches in the UK with Progress and Rev Pro. He picked up a lot. Also, Action has him and Leo and Action were also a part of Mexico for a little bit too, so that's always fun. They call out the Rascals here, and I was like, baller, let's do this.
Yeah.
If they come out in their puffy jackets, do you think the Rascals are going to try to smoke them?
Yes, 100%. I'm excited.
The half-baked hallucination. But I love you. I can't be with you anymore.
To Mrs. Damian Priest over here too. I love her that she's here.
I'm waiting for Casey Catanzaro to join her. Like, we need
Seriously,
them back together.
Casey, where you at, girl? Like, God, you
actually Sin versus the Party Girls. That would be one of the best tag matches of the year.
No, the Party Girls name was a really stupid tag team name, but they were like the only legit women's tag team at that time. That was a legit tag team that actually practiced tag team maneuvers and weren't just thrown together. That they just weren't given the chance, and it made me sad. But yeah, the crew call out the Rascals, and I'm excited. Zeta Steel. Zeta. We love you, girl. But Zeta Steel, I was like, let me write her eulogy real quick. Shout out to Zeta, though, because now she is officially #all elite, so she is officially signed to AEW.
So if you get choked out by Marina Shafir, you get to be all elite? Sign me up, please.
Is that all it takes?
Listen, Tony Khan, I was willing to get choked out by Marina Shafir, and the three of us, well, actually, I include Benny on this. The four of us can do some creative writing for you. We promise.
I'll go through all 3 tables.
I heard 3. Do we get 4?
I will jump off a ladder. It won't look great.
The monkey splash.
For reals. So, fun fact, right? Being another friend of mine, because of our names, because my legal first name is Michael and his name is Jordan, we came up with our own tag team maneuver. It's called Air Jordan, where I would be throwing said person up in the air and then spike him down with a frog splat while he does.
One of you has to dunk him into the other.
That's essentially what we came up with. So yeah, I mean,
I was trying to get a time on this match. It was like 90 seconds.
Yeah,
it was not very
when
much.
I saw this card, I was just like, "Oh, Zeta, baby girl, we tried, but no,
rocked here.
She got."
I will say though, her dodging and like getting like that close in Marina's kicks, like she really sold her well. It was a well put together part of that job there.
Yeah. So Marina Shafir wins. We love Zeta. The Don Callis family and the Death Riders have a full-on brawl.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how we got here.
It started on commentary and then it escalated into a full brawl.
Yeah.
Which led into the next match.
I was just like, why?
I was like, what is happening, you guys? We're going to talk about that a little bit.
But they weren't even sure who was fighting. Like, they were looking at each other.
Kyle Fletcher was so confused.
Like, he's looking around. Like, it's you, right? Like,
John Travolta from Pulp Fiction.
Do we think that he's like 3 weeks ahead when the Don Callis family civil war happens, and he's like, oh right, I punch you next week, and then I punch you 2 weeks from now.
He is the proto star, so he looks into the future. Like, anywho, so that fight was a little weird, which leads into our next match, Skyflight versus the Don Callis family, which is Josh Alexander, El Klon, and Kyle Fletcher. I keep wanting to say Klondike, like El Klon has his own Klondike bar variation.
Yeah, but you don't want to call him a Klondike or a Bull Dyke or any type of dyke that you need. Like, he's just Klon.
Lord help us.
Maybe he's Dutch.
We've all got our finger in something.
Yes. Stay tuned for the after hours. Stay tuned for the after hour podcast.
Oh no,
to
he's got
learn.
him wrapped up in the dike. Oh no, what's he gonna do?
So before we get canceled, this match was actually pretty solid.
He calls this one dunking the canal.
Oh, that was a space dock if I've ever seen one.
Dante has really I mean we have to move on, but honestly Dante has been really stepping it up the last couple of weeks. It's been really nice, and honestly I feel like Skyflight has finally kind of come together, and I was just like, you know what, I like what I see here. But it's Josh Alexander El Clan who has still, I'm very impressed with this Pele kick. That thing is a thing of beauty. And the Protostar.
I still can't see how
he can't see how he does that. He can't see.
I mean, that's fair. But like he's bent the wrong direction and his body still flips over. It's like, how are you? My God.
I'm telling you, y'all need to go see his work in GCW and across the independence of Mexican Lucha Libre too. Him and Gringo Loco have had some crazy stuff to, like, again, in GCW before he signed, you had Arez, Gringo Loco, and Jack Cartwheel as Los Desperados. GCW, it's so good. They are so good. Also, sidebar, Gringo Loco is having his own show during WrestleMania weekend, and we're gonna be watching because, like, I was like, Luchador, let's go. When the base god is literally bringing nothing but Lucha Libre to WrestleMania weekend, I was like, all right, I don't know if we're gonna watch it live, but we're gonna review it at some point because I was like, we have to, as well as Effie's, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff happening, and we're stay tuned for all of that.
It's all in another country that's ruled by a weird dictator that's going on. But either way,
so this was a
it's
fun
just
match.
Easier to get to.
Yeah, Don Callis family wins, and then Keshida is finally back from Japan. You know, he has done his obligations for New Japan and DDT, which is very fun to watch. Don is wanting a hug from Takeshita, and Takeshita literally is like, nope, and goes to Kyle Fletcher and gives him a hug. I was like, there it is. The dissension is furthering.
Like we said, Kyle Fletcher was thinking 3 weeks ahead and was trying to punch his own teammates, forgetting that he's not in the Civil War thing yet.
How are they going to do? I don't know. I'm sort of.
I don't know, because there's like two. Both of them have splits coming, so it's a little strange.
I mean, unless you're just going to blow them all up now, which I don't hate, but AEW doesn't really think that way because they tend to not have that long-term plan like we were talking about not too long ago. I don't hate that, but to what end? Is it just because you're a big faction, we're a big faction? Let's go.
And we all know, there's the whole thing, the theory around GM mode and booking. Like, you don't put heel against heel. It's just not how it works. You'll get less fans.
I do feel like they're buying time for Ospreay returning, which I guess is at the end of 26, right? It's a long time right now, right?
It might be during the middle too, because they've been teasing Ospreay to do some stuff in New Japan too, because he also has some messes he has to clean up in New Japan, especially with a certain Mr. Callum Newman who feels betrayed.
I know they want to do Fletcher Ospreay Takeshita at some point. Like, they want to create their whole new thing.
Listen, and drag Mark Davis with him.
Sure. Right? Yeah.
Selfishly, I want Will Ospreay to get better soon, so that way when we go back to Mexico during the summer, I need Will Ospreay versus anybody in CMLL.
Oh yeah, when they go back down.
Yeah, so which is coming this year again. Tony Khan has said they are going to do a Grand Slam Mexico once again, and I was like, crossover! God, that was such a fun crossover for CMLL and AEW. We're going to do it again.
It was brilliant.
It's going to happen again.
It is. But moving on.
Was Briscoe genuinely late?
I wouldn't put it past it. He got caught up with the Rascals.
It's like they're supposed to be.
Look at Roddy's face. Roddy's just like, you're late. Roddy's face is me, and I loved it.
This was fun. I could listen to them talk all day.
It was great.
I know, yeah, it didn't really do anything, but it was like, that was fun.
Just like Brodito, I want Roddy to be so unobliviously, I am not part of the conglomeration. I'm like, sir, you were on the Christmas sweater during the holiday season. You are part of the conglomeration, whether you like it or not. And honestly, when Roddy finally accepts it and actually is okay with it, the crowd is going to eat this up and lose their mind, which we love. Listen,
I am Paragon.
Two of them are out due to injury. Adam Cole, Bebe for who knows how long. Kyle O'Reilly for a little bit. And
I thought Adam Cole's gone forever. Was it Adam Cole gone forever?
I thought he retired.
He's pretty much at this point until otherwise. And then Bobbert Fish is not doing great.
He's been excommunicated from Paragon for a while.
Well, and from professional wrestling, MLW is the only company that I have seen him pop up in, and even then, that hasn't been a lot.
Where's the lie?
I mean, I'm just saying. Moving on back, y'all. And her and Megan are still good.
Was there any doubt?
No. D4, we love you. Now I just need your husbando to come back on my TV screen, too.
Perhaps your tag team partner, which would be wonderful.
Yes, also that. Megan Bang and Penelope Ford win a squash match. Essentially, afterwards, the Timeless Love Bombs are here, and they are not done with the Mega Sis of Penelope. And I love that Marina just popped up in here. She's like, I'm in the Death Riders, but also I love these two girls. We're gonna fight.
Well, no, Marina was also filling in for Penelope, helping out Megasis for so long.
And again, because it's me, right? Tony Storm, this outfit, yes. Me, every woman in here, you get one of these.
They messed up with the hard cam for this.
Yep. I was gonna.
I had no idea. Like they would cut down to the ring, and it was like, are they not looking at them? Are they looking this way?
Cam,
What's happening that
up.
way? Like that was all funky weird.
Guys,
like,
this was the second show that you taped back to back because both Dynamite and Collision were taped together on that Wednesday.
Why
so
were they doing? They did that whole promo and looked the wrong way, or purposely made it look like that. I was like, what are we doing?
I don't know. It was so weird. But the timeless love bombs and then Penelope and Megan, they gonna be fighting. And I'm here for it. Love it. Listen, Linda, listen. So Kevin Knight requests some interview time with Swerve, and he's just like, I'm not just the future, I'm the now. I was like, bet, Kevin, agree with you. Swerve then essentially little brothers Kevin Knight, and it's just like, yeah, you are. Win some championship gold first, and then you can come talk to me about having a match with me. And I mean, with Hobbs's contract plus this, I was just like, I know where this is going. But listen, on paper, I'm like, yes, give me the black excellence that is this match.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
This can't come fast enough. It has to happen.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, it is happening this tomorrow night.
Yes.
I love Jet Speed. I don't think they should break up Jet Speed for single stuff. I think the two of them are stronger together right now, the way things are going. I hope that's not what they're doing. I hope this is just a good one-off to showcase what they can do.
I will say, I think Swerve is a little bit of the odd man out on this one, given what we're going to talk about in the main event, because that takes care of Hangman for a little bit. But also, I don't know. Swerve is the odd man out right now, but who knows? We'll see where that goes.
This is as far as I got with Collision. I didn't see the rest of it because I've had trauma to deal with all day. So I have no idea what happens after this.
Don't worry. Me and JVL got you because number one contendership.
Oh my gosh.
I really want to. Was this good? Okay, that's an answer.
It wasn't the worst thing that I saw, but it could have been better.
No, there were a couple of like miscommunication bits. Bowen still seems to be a 3,
they shook hands
thing. Yeah, they did. I wanted to like it more. I wanted to get more into it. It felt formulaic to me, and it felt like we knew who was going to win at the top of it, so it really didn't work well for them. There was no story.
Okay, there's no reason to have this. All right.
No, I mean
the winner gets a shot at Ricochet's championship, which ended up being Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, with where Bones is in terms of the storyline they're building with him, this wasn't needed. Like I'd rather him doing the promos he's been doing backstage with Max Caster. That's been helping him more.
He took a loss.
Yeah. Jack Perry won.
Well,
I'm wondering if we're gonna come back around because, like last week when we talked about it, like Anthony and Max were with Jet Speed. And like, I thought we were going to get like a multi-person thing coming up soon. I don't know if we're going to revisit that, but I was like, I like that direction for Anthony and Max and all of them. But now I'm not sure if we're going to have that anytime soon. But Jungle Jack Perry wins. He's getting a shot at Ricochet's championship. You know, Ricochet and the Demand are still running amok right now all over AEW. And they have like a weird quasi kind of cool relationship with the Don Callis family, which I don't know how long that's going to last, honestly.
Oh, let's see if they back them up in this like Death Rider Civil War thing.
It's wild. I was just like, we're playing Avengers style level of craziness here. And I'm like, there are so many people involved. It is wild. I just want one pay-per-view to be like the Don Callis family versus your AEW squad. Like,
so you want to make NWO Revenge, but with the Don Callis family?
At Double or Nothing, it is every match is some sort of formation of Don Callis family versus your AEW team AEW stuff. It is literally Survivor Series without calling it Survivor Series. Anywho, moving on.
What is this?
Okay, so like
that's John Moxley. He looks.
I see. He looks like the spaghetti head guy.
So okay, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, right? That's the Professor as his alter ego, John Moxley.
Oh, I wish.
There's your Halloween costume right there, Professor. You are John Moxley this Halloween.
If I had half the talent and pecs of John Moxley,
so you want one peck?
If I had one of John Moxley's pecs,
probably gonna rip me a new one for this one. I actually kind of liked it.
I'm not gonna rip you a new one. It's okay if you're wrong.
Whew. Is this a Ultimate Warrior aliens coming to Earth to free the Native Americans promo, or is this a straightforward
This is
Unlucky
this is
promo.
kind of a weird, straightforward. Be like, Don Callis family, we let you run amok. Now, if you get in our way again, we're gonna have some problems. Type of promo.
Okay.
It did have a through line. It wasn't completely like cuckoo bananas, but at the same time, it still didn't explain or further anything about why they're like. It just was.
It did a really bad job of planting the seeds for what's probably going to be coming up in the next month or two.
Right.
I will say though, Marina Shafir had the best line of the night. Whatever she cursed in Russian was amazing because they even had to bleep it out in the Russian. I'm like, ooh.
Really?
Marina Shafir is a menace, and I love her.
A few Russian swear words of note, but I won't use them here, I guess.
Yeah.
All the bots are watching.
While this was bad, while this was not necessarily the greatest thing, it is setting up for probably what's going to lead us to the next month or two. But yeah, keep it going. Alrighty, so let's talk about this because this also is the other big piece of news too. So this was taped the same night as Dynamite Maximum Carnage, and it had come out that Powerhouse Hobbs AEW contract expired literally midnight that night.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Which nothing's happened since then, right?
Nope.
He's just chilling.
No, his contract's up. He didn't resign. He is probably heading to WWE.
Oh my
But
god.
nothing has moved yet. But that's the scuttleman.
Oh man, what a fumble.
So prior to that, I was like, I know where this is going. So for the AEW World Trios Championships, the Ops. So Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata Bread with a Hook in the corner of this picture, like, where's Waldo?
He's their little brother that gets to come along.
Yes. Taking on the team of Hangman, Adam Page, and Jet Speed. And my friend gave me a makeshift trios name for them, and that is what we're using. And I need Chapel Rowan to play the song for them every single time they come out. But it is the Ops versus Flying Pony Club.
You don't need Chapel Rowan. Just
Get Wheeler Yuta to do it.
Just like the emo-fied version.
Here you go.
Flying
Like,
Pony Club.
Man, I had a lot of fun with this one. I really, really did. Jet Speed and Hangman, I was just like, this is a thrown together trio, but they work.
They had the right group in there, and it was definitely a great way to send Hobbs off. I thought that they used Hobbs in a really good way during it. Again, I needed a pan to Evil Uno and John Silver just sitting there like at commentary or something going, we were right here.
That actually would not be a bad feud for Jet Speed and Hangman versus the Dark Order for these trios championships. I was like, it'll never happen, but it'd be kind of fun because Tony Khan forgets that Dark Order exists unless you put them on Ring of Honor.
Could they bring those three titles over to Mystery Wrestling?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I don't know. I would love to see it because Tony Khan would be kind of like my favorite person even more. Like if he did. But I mean, I wouldn't, honestly, I would not say no because if Tony wanted to work with Evo Uno and Mystery Wrestling, because I'm gonna wait till we're done talking about the match because I do have some big news that AEW is just like hey guys, I know we have Revolution coming up in March, but here's all the other stuff we got coming up in like the next 2 or 3 months, and I'm excited. But as far as this match goes, I had fun, and we have new champs, you guys. Flying Pony Club is our new trios champions, no doubt, because Hobbs' contract is up, so I kind of already knew where this was going. But Hangman, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey are our new trios champs. AEW making history once again as Speedball Mike Bailey is the first ever non-binary champion in the company's history.
Right.
Speedball Mike Bailey is non-binary.
Good for them. I was not aware of
AEW has done it. We had our first lesbian champion. I forget who. Oh no, first bisexual champion.
Tony Storm.
Our first gay champion, I think that's what I read correctly. I'm trying to remember who. I mean, Anthony Bowen says the tag team champ, and now we have our first non-binary champion.
I'm just watching the replay at the end. Everyone's faces and the shock of Hangman, just like, we actually did it.
Speedball is great. Okay, I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit because Speedball has his vlogs he does like weekly after AEW. Let me tell you, I need Jet Speed, Hangman, and Willow to be a 4-person faction, and the video was hilarious because without saying it too discreetly, I learned a couple things in Mike Bailey's blog. Number 1, the chemistry between Jet Speed, Hangman, and Willow are fantastic. They look like a fun little group, and I want to hang out with them. Number 2, without outright saying it but not denying it, Hangman and Jet Speed and Willow all know that there are people out there who have written fan fictions of them for wrestling. And Hangman without uttering the exact words but not denying it, has read said fanfics and he actually digs them.
There you go. Well, you got to pass the time in math class somehow. So
I was just like, Heyman reads BL. It's
Awesome.
Yaoi and BL.
Oh,
Willow
Pony
Nightingale. Willow cracked me up in that video too. She's like, guys, we know that you have written fan fiction of us, and thank you.
And we're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love Speedball. He's like, yeah, I've read fan fiction of us and I loved it.
To be famous enough, but not celebrity enough to where you're right in the middle where you can actually read it and be like, yeah, that's cool.
Listen, Speedball and his partner Veda Scott are one of my two favorite peoples on the planets, and they just are just lovable. And they have some weird quirks, but I love them. And they're not afraid of it, which is fantastic. But that's very true. But that has been our AEW post show. Before we go, I do have some news because this week AEW is like, guys, I know we have Revolution and Dynasty coming up in March and April, but we're also doing a lot of other things. So Tony Khan and Athena this past week on Ring of Honor television are hosting a Global Wars show. So for those of you who don't know, ROH does Global Wars ever so often, where we get to see ROH talent and the international talent of wherever they're going to collide, which is great. But this Global Wars is a little different because it is ROH versus Metroplex Wrestling, which anybody who doesn't know, that's Athena's wrestling promotion and school. It is ROH versus Athena's wrestling school. And without saying it, guys, I think it's an all-women show because Athena, it's all women students in Athena's dojo. So the ROH women versus Athena students. I'm like,
wow, that's going to be cool.
It's going to be amazing, actually.
Yeah.
And
I believe it's either happening this week or next week. So I'm excited for it. But then on top of that, AEW wasn't done with, doing crazy stuff because Tony Khan announced that in March, Ring of Honor, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is Scott D'Amore's baby and his company. Anybody who knows wrestling, Scott D'Amore is one of my favorite promoters and peoples in wrestling right now. Just a great dude, but also honestly saved TNA after the Bischoff, Hogan, Dixie Carter era of TNA. And then when Anthem fired him, I was pissed. But he has taken the reins and refurbished and revamped Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So in March, they are doing a 2-night spectacular Global Wars Canada. So Canadian wrestling versus ROH talent. But not only that, you guys, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is having their first show in 2026 of Uprising, but it's not just Maple Leaf and Ring of Honor. They announced that we're having Pro Wrestling Noah folks like Kaito Kiyomiya come in. And then they're also announcing that CMLL is jumping into the fray too. So it is literally New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, CMLL, Ring of Honor, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in a 2-night extravaganza. And my little international wrestling brain is exploding.
That's a lot of stuff.
That was a lot of explosion and also a cat.
There was a cat amidst all that. Hi, cat.
And, well, speaking of which, too, that's not just it, because March is on and popping too, because in the UK, some of the AEW girls are going to be heading over to the UK for Eve Battle Riot's Queendom, like Wrestle Queendom. Harley Cameron's wrestling against Amira. Both of them are like comedy characters, so I don't know how that's going to go. Charlie versus Chris Statlander, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think we're going to cover that. I just got to figure out where in our schedule when we're going to do that post show because I want to. And it's being produced by Will Ospreay, who produced the last.
Are these? Are these on the
YouTube? I think Eve's Battle Riot Cabaret is on YouTube.
Great. All right.
So I'm excited. And then, of course, like I said earlier, we're going to Australia in a couple of weeks for Grand Slam Australia. So AEW is just out here, just be like, "Hi guys, here's the content for the next 4 months," and I'm like, "Baller, let's go."
Which is smart.
We're gonna go visit.
That's the best way to compete in 2026. I feel like.
Yeah.
Hey, do the indie smaller stuff better and get people to care and represent correctly, and they will come. And they are. Like we're going to see it. That's great.
Yeah. Bring everybody else up and raise all the ships up instead of just like completely draining it of all talent.
100%. Well, gang, that's it for us here at All Elite Ensemble. I have a story that I need from JVL afterwards we're going to talk about. Yes, before you leave, I need this tea. But
I know, I'm not Hans Christian Andersen. I'm not going to tell you about a Little Mermaid, okay? We're going to do something.
So we're all going to talk about it. But guys, listen, I can say this, and this is going to be the tagline. So I want to thank all my bitches and bros and non-binary hoes. In the words of Adam from Skate Infinity, the anime, I would like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We have a pretty standard week, minus an extra post show that we're doing this week. So tomorrow night is our doubleheader of NXT at 5:30 p.m. Pacific and CMLL at 8 p.m. Pacific, where myself and Papa Oso and Kilt will be doing all the crazy stuff, talking about NXT and CMLL. Then Thursday, I don't know how this is going to work because we have such a big crew now for this one.
Thursday's better.
Yes, I know Thursday is better because, hey, but you know what? I don't got to be the one in charge for Thursday, which is a nice change of pace. But on Thursday, we are reviewing Mystery Wrestling 21, so let me tell you, it is JBL leading. I am going to be there. So is Kilt and Jesse, possibly Adolfo. One of our newer folks, Will, is on. There's so many people signed up for Mystery Wrestling. I was just like, God, I got to make a new graphic.
If nothing else, it tells you where people actually want to be watching, what is actually popular, and what is making people happy about watching this art form. So yeah, check out Mystery Wrestling. If you haven't joined their Patreon, join it soon so you can get the VOD. Otherwise, message me.
Yes, for reasons. No, but I'm excited for this one. And again, because this took place in Cardiff, my little European wrestling heart exploded. And JVL's not going to hear me shut up about it on Thursday because...
No, you will talk all the way through.
Yes, because again, I will fill in the folks because as someone who watches and covers Progress, a lot of the folks was like, I know who they are, and also British wrestling greats as well. I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening.
Well, and Mikey needs to fill out the algorithm so that when it's not like on his actual cards now, all the shorts are just still stuck on Mikey when he talks.
Right here. And then we wrap up the week on Friday where myself, both Wills are going to be reviewing TNA Genesis, which is the first pay-per-view from TNA. Listen, we already talked about, me and Radio talked about it last week about AMC debut. Y'all saw the text thread I sent the next day. And yeah, but we're going to talk about Genesis and all the other stuff. But I will say, as bad as it was, I will say the TNA boys have grown a lot closer because we also have found a way to watch it together on Thursdays without streaming it. So it's really fun bonding time, and we can rip it apart the following day on Fridays.
Trauma bonds everyone. I understand that.
It is great. Bonsai. Anyways, we got to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you deserve to finish your story. I will see some of y'all tomorrow for the doubleheader of NXT and CMLL. But until then, and until next time,
thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.